Alright, so this is the last one. So I have minus outside, minus 5 outside the bracket, then I have minus 3y raised to power 5, then with an index of 3 as the external index. So the first thing to do is to open the bracket with this 3. Then the next thing to do is to multiply by minus 5. So I have to leave my minus 5 here. First of all, let's open the brackets. So that means I'm going to have minus 3 raised to power 3, y raised to power what? Raised to power 5. Exactly. Now I've been able to, okay, sorry, 5 times 3 is 15. So now I've been able to remove this, left with this. So let us simplify this. Remember what I told you about the minus sign. Remember, this is now odd. Very good. This is odd. So since it is odd, it means it will maintain the negative sign. So 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. So that means I have, what I just did is minus 3 raised to power 3. That's minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3. So minus 5 minus 27 y raised to power 15. Remember, I maintained the negative sign because this is odd. Right? If you don't understand, watch the previous video. So let's go. So now let's open the bracket. So minus times minus, what do we have? Plus. So that means I'm going to have plus. What is 5 times 27? 27 times 5. 5 times 7, 35. Carry 3. 5 times 2, 10. Plus 3, 13. It's 135. So that means I have 135 y raised to power 15. Okay? Please take a good look at this. Take a careful look at this. Let me quickly explain the process again. Now, what I did was that to start with, there's minus 5 here. I didn't touch it. This bracket here has a connection with this index. So and there are two bases here. The first base is minus 3. The second base is y. Alright? And y has a power of 5. So the index here will multiply the index of 3 and also the index of y. The index of y is 5, while the index of 3 is 1. It's not written. So that 1 times 3 is what gave us this 3 up here. Then this 5 times this 3 is what gave us this 15 here. Good. Now, we now decide to simplify this. Now, the index of 3 here is 3. Now, this 3 up here is odd number, odd. So that means if I have minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3, this one and this one will give me plus 9. But when I now multiply with minus again, it's going to give me minus 27. So that was how I got this minus 27. Then I maintained this 15. Okay, the next thing I did was to open the bracket. So this minus sign here and this minus sign here will multiply to give me plus. That's why you can't see the negative sign again. Then 5 times 27 give me 125. Okay? There's no letter to multiply. That's why I just dropped the y. Let me show you something. If I have 4p to multiply by let's say 2p. So number will multiply number. P will multiply p. Do you get that? But if I have 4p to be multiplied by p, now p will multiply p, then it is assumed that there's 1 here. So I'll just drop the 4 and say p like this. Do you get it now? Why I'm trying to do all this is so that you will not wonder why I use this to multiply this, but what did I use to multiply this? There's no letter here. That is why I just dropped the 15. So let's quickly do a recap. Let's do a recap. So for the first one, we told you that in law 5, the index of the base in the bracket will multiply the index on the external side. Then I said take note of the negative sign because it's going to lead to another law, right? And then when you have negative sign on both sides, what do? It becomes positive. And when it becomes positive, there's no need. What I say, there's no need for it to turn to a law. It's just be our final answer like that. Then the last thing I said should take note of is the odd and even index as the external. Take note of it, especially when the base is negative. See, while solving this, some people would have left their answers like this. Now, if you had left your answer as minus 2 raised to power 4 x 25 or some people might even forget. If you had left the answer like this, you didn't simplify, you might lose maybe a mark or two. Now, what you need to know is that I showed you something here. Minus 5 squared. Once the base has a negative sign and the index is even, you have to do away with the minus sign. Why? Because minus times minus is plus. The same thing goes here. So that is why there's no minus in the final answer. So if you have any question to ask, please feel free, use the comment section, subscribe and follow. Thank you very much.